What's going on, Islander fans? Good morning, Islander fans. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you guys are celebrating. Cheers to you guys. Happy holidays to everyone. Welcome to the second half of the NHL hockey season, as I like to call it. Grab your coffee mugs, grab your chocolate milk, grab whatever you're drinking. Today, we're going to be talking about the Islanders and their so-called slump. We're going to talk about Devon Toews. We're going to talk about Adam Pelech. We're going to talk about Kieffer Bellows. And later on in the show, we're going to talk about the Islanders at the 40-game mark and what that actually means for the fans, for the Islanders, for the rest of the Metropolitan Division. And I'm going to explain to people why I think a lot of the reports of the low scoring are completely overblown. So before we get into the Islanders at the 40-game mark, again, welcome everyone. Is that working? Just making sure. Okay, we're good. Season 2, episode 7 or 8. I don't even know which one we're up to anymore. I believe it's episode 8. So kick back, relax, enjoy. A couple of things to go about with the Islanders right now. Adam Pelech apparently out for the season due to, I believe, obviously it's a lower body injury, but I believe it's the Achilles, and that's horrible. As a basketball player, still, that's one of the worst injuries you could ever get. However, being on the bright side of things, I really do like the chance for Noah Dobson to get a massive opportunity and to get in as many games as he can play and that he can handle. So if Sebastian Aho and Noah Dobson happen to split 20 games throughout the season, I think that would be phenomenal. I have always liked Sebastian Aho's game. Granted, a little bit on the small side, but Sebastian Aho can also help on the power play if he needs to. And he's a little gritty guy, too. He can be a Thomas Hickey who hits a little more often. He's not afraid to throw the body. So we'll see what Barry Chalks wants Sebastian Aho to do. But Noah Dobson, for me, is the big one. The fact that he's now going to get more than 20 games, I'm hoping he gets close to 30 games in the season. I think that would be phenomenal for his development. And I don't think he's going to look out of place after a couple of games. I think the games that he has been in, he really does look like he's shaking off rust, Noah Dobson. So I'm really hoping he comes into his own, he learns the game a little bit more, and really there shouldn't be any expectations on Noah Dobson, none whatsoever. Kick back, watch, relax, and enjoy with Noah Dobson and Sebastian Aho. Don't put any pressure on any of them. They're just here to fill in the role led by Adam Pelech. If they could rack up some points, sure. But how many points are we asking Noah Dobson and Sebastian Aho to put in for the second half of the season? I'll tell you, 10 total. 10 total. Okay. Adam Pelech is anywhere between a 17 to 22 point guy, but he's a very sound stay-at-home defenseman. So, morning guys. Volume is a little low. Let's work on that. Thank you, sir. How's my volume now? Are we good now? Volume is still a little low. That's interesting. Brand new computer, guys. You're going to have to bear with me. Okay, yeah, the microphone is not here. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Okay, how about now? Where is the microphone? I don't even know. Yeah, he probably tried to sabotage. Wait a minute. Hold on. boys. Let's see what we can do here. Microphone. Okay, so it's on. Okay, how am I doing now? All right, I'm gonna try to talk closer to the computer here. I will get the mic going on a little bit. So, all right. Anyway, continuing on here because I don't know if I will be able to fix this on the fly. So, having said all that, yeah, great opportunity for Noah Dobson and Sebastian Aho. I hope they all do really well. Still the same. Nope, that's there. Okay, I honestly have no clue what to do at this point. Am I still a little low, guys? Can I do the show or should I just come on back and try to fix it? How low is it? Testing mic test 1 2 3. How am I sounding here, guys? Okay. No response. Okay, so let's just do it. So yeah, that's Noah Dobson. That's Sebastian Aho. I hope they get as much time as possible. And don't put any pressure on them. I think they'll do very well with what they have, and as long as they follow the team concept, they should be all right. But losing Adam Pelech for the entire season is going to hurt just a little bit. But again, on the positive side, I like the fact that we're bringing up the kids. It makes us a little younger, makes us a little faster. As long as they follow the system, we should be okay. Not necessarily a whipping boy, but Devon Toews right now. Devon Toews right now does not look like he's playing very well. However, I will go through his first 48 games last season compared to now. In his first 48 games last season, he ended up going 5 goals, 13 assists for 18 points, and was a +7. Now, through the first 39 games, it appears that he is now 3 goals, 10 assists, 13 points, and he's a +3. So when I watch Devon Toews and I'm looking at his numbers, honestly, guys, I think it's more of a sophomore slump. He came into the scene last year. Not a lot of people really knew who he was. The scouts definitely knew who he was. But overall, the players didn't know who he was. Now, coming into the season, the Islanders go on a massive unbeaten streak. More attention needs to be paid to the Islanders, and when that happens, you have to pay attention to Devon Toews. And I think that's exactly what happened. Devon Toews, in my opinion, right now is in the sophomore slump. The NHL has started to figure him out, and now it's his turn to see if he can elevate his game to better the team. And I think he will. And you also have to remember, he only spent 48 games last year in the NHL. This is his first full season in the NHL, and I think it's the grind, it's the amount of games getting played now. It may be getting to him just a little bit. Not really making excuses for the kid, but he is what, 25, 26. He's played college hockey. He's played amongst men before, but this is, I think, the first time in his entire career where he's playing a full NHL season, and that tends to take a toll, especially on a defenseman. So give Devon Toews a little more time. Maybe he could use a sit down, watch the game from from a different view. Maybe, I don't know, but I wouldn't worry too much about Devon Toews. I think he's very much more of a sophomore slump than anything else. And we'll see what happens over the next 10 games or so. Let's see what happens with him. Moving right along to Kieffer Bellows. And this is going to tie into what we'll be talking about later. I know a lot of Islander fans are basically pleading, begging Lou to make a trade for a scorer. And in this case, when everyone finds out that Kieffer Bellows basically destroyed the American Hockey League last month, he ended up with the AHL Player of the Month, which has not happened, to my knowledge, since Casey Zizekas back in 2012. Long time for the Islanders, and very good for Kieffer. Very happy for him. Having said that, no, I don't think he should come up just because the Islanders need scoring. If the Islanders were to call him up as a reward for his accomplishments, I'm absolutely okay with that. No question. I'm okay with that. I don't want him up here just because the Islanders are a little. I don't want Bellows up here just because the Islander fans need scoring. That's not the reason to bring him up. And as we're going to get into, guys, scoring really isn't the problem. It's not. And again, we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But congratulations to Kieffer Bellows on the AHL Player of the Month. And I'm going to bring him up as well. The next player, Josh Hosang, since I wasn't here pretty much in December, has returned to Bridgeport. And the only thing I'm going to say here now is, with Adam Pelech, with his injury, and Sebastian Aho getting called up, I believe now that Josh Hosang and Oliver Wahlstrom coming together is going to add one hell of a offensive dynamo down in Bridgeport. Like, you're literally talking two legitimate scoring lines for Bridgeport right now. I would almost feel like the Bridgeport Sound Tigers are they should do something like the Toronto Maple Leafs and try to win nothing but scoring. And that should hopefully alleviate some of their defensive woes. And so, the best defense is an offense down there. And I'm hoping Josh Hosang can do something like that. Mark, we'll get into Everly, we'll get into Broussard. We're going to get into all those stats literally in just a few minutes here. But yeah, Hosang, shut up, play the game, get this team back anywhere near the playoffs. The playoffs down in the AHL is a little different. They still go top four, but they play less games, and it truly is more of a developmental league. So I don't do the point pace down there. I literally do the MLB, the baseball stats, the standings down there. I'll take the points, subtract the points divided by 2, and there's your amount of games. And for me, any team about 5, now more like 7 games. Once you're like 7 games back of a playoff spot, you're pretty much done for the year. And to my knowledge right now, Bridgeport's at 4. So basically that means the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, with their offense, they have to win at least for the next 3 weeks in a row. We're looking like a 9-game winning streak would get them right back into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens with them. But again, congratulations to Kieffer Bellows on the AHL Player of the Month. Good luck to Josh Hosang, Oliver Wahlstrom when he returns, and the rest of the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. And let's get into the meat of it here. So, 40 game mark, guys. 40 game mark. What does it mean? Okay. The Islanders are on pace for 111. And let's go over the standings. Okay. In the Metro Division right now, again, for those of you who are here for the first time, I always do the point percentage. I always do the prorated pace. I have been doing it now for like the last 8 years. I've been noticing now that everyone's been doing the percentages as well, but they're not telling you what it means. I'm here to tell you what it means. Okay, and this is why I'm going to ask Islander fans to relax a little bit about the standings and relax about the scoring. Okay, so let's start off with the Metro Division. The Capitals are on pace for 118 points. They're in first place, obviously. The Islanders right now are on pace for 111. They're in second. The Pittsburgh Penguins are on pace for 109. Fourth place belongs to the Carolina Hurricanes at 103. The Philadelphia Flyers are on pace for 98. The Columbus Blue Jackets, go Blue Jackets. I'm still rooting for you guys. 92 points. The New York Rangers are on pace for 86. And the New Jersey Devils are now on pace for 74. They're not climbing out, but their record is looking a little bit better. The Boston Bruins right now, first place in the Atlantic. You're looking at 117 points. The Tampa Bay Lightning, I warned you about them last show about a month ago. Tampa Bay Lightning are now in second place with 101 point pace. The Toronto Maple Leafs, who, if you are watching the standings still, the regular NHL standings, they're in second place. I have them at third, on pace for 100 points. The Florida Panthers are in fourth place with 96. The Montreal Canadiens are on pace for 84. The Buffalo Sabres are on pace for 84 as well. The Ottawa Senators are on pace for 74. Ouch. The Detroit Red Wings are on pace for 46 points. Honestly, I don't think Detroit has done this bad since they were trying to get Steve Yzerman back in '84. I don't know. I haven't seen the Wings be this bad in so long. Okay, so when we're talking about the standings and we're talking about the point pace here, okay, we're talking about percentages, okay, and I'm shooting myself right now because I honestly thought I had a rubber band. And for the life of me, I don't. But that's exactly what the point percentages is. It's like a rubber band. You start off in a circle. Some stretch to the positive. Some stretch to the negative. Okay? For example, the Wings, the Devils, and the Senators. Okay? They're stretching to the negative because they're not really supposed to be where they're not supposed to be there. Okay, if there was a complete circle here for the rubber band, I would probably put it right where the Flyers and Panthers are, right around that 96 to 98 point pace. Okay, the rubber band really isn't moving. Okay, they're like the middle of the pack. And then you have the Caps, the Bruins, and the Islanders stretching in a positive direction. They're the most extreme. The Caps, Bruins, and Isles 118, 117. 111. And all season long, for each team, the rubber band stretches depending on the direction, depending on the amount of winning, depending on and depending on the stretching goes. Okay, what I need to show you guys is this. Yes, the Islanders have not been doing a lot of winning, at least to your standards. Okay, but the thing you guys need to understand is that the Washington Capitals, from the last time I was doing the show, they were on pace for 126 points. The Boston Bruins were on pace for 131. And the Islanders were on pace for 125. So when someone tells you they're on pace for 131 points, not necessarily the truth. It means after 35 or 40 games, they're on pace. It doesn't mean they're going to reach that mark. But that's before 40 games. Okay, and they're stretched out. Now, with the numbers that you've seen, the Caps, Bruins, and Isles, 118, 117, 111, the rubber band is starting to come back a little bit, and that's normal. If you're asking a team, unless you're the Tampa Bay Lightning of last year, unless you're asking a team to hold on to a 131 point pace all season long, it's a little too demanding. Okay, the Capitals right now are on pace for 118. The rubber band was stretched out too far. The New York Islanders are on pace for 117. Their rubber band was stretched out too far. Okay, the Islanders playing the way they are right now, it's normal. The Capitals go through it. The Bruins have been going through it. All the top teams, they all do it. They have that massive stretch, and they're stretched out too far to the positive, and they got to calm back down a little bit to reality. Now, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Everyone's worried about the Pittsburgh Penguins catching up to the Islanders. Okay, here we go. The Pittsburgh Penguins during their season, their middle was like mid 80s to early 90s here. They weren't doing that great. What you're seeing from the Pens right now at 109 point pace is them getting stretched out. 109. The question for me is when I'm watching the Pens will be, is this as far as the Penguins will go? Okay. Is this as far as the Penguins can go? I'm going to say yes. I don't think the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to maintain a 109 point pace for the rest of the season, especially with Jake Gensel going out for the rest of the season. A barely healthy Sidney Crosby just coming back, and then you've got a Jenny Malkin who's been okay. So I think that rubber band for the Pittsburgh Penguins is going to come back. Could the Pittsburgh Penguins still finish with over 100 points? Yeah, they could, and we're going to get into that as well. The Canes have been very quietly been around that 97 to 102 mark pretty much all season long. They have yet to make their stand. I'm concerned with them, but I'm waiting for them to make a move. Now the Flyers at one point, they were at 103 or 104 point pace. They were stretched out. They're now coming back down to 98. So do you guys understand where I'm going with this? Okay, the Islanders at their absolute worst at 111 points still isn't matching the best from the Pens, the Canes, and the Flyers. Quite truthfully, the Pens are the only team right now from third place down to actually reach anything over 105 point pace. They're all stretched out. So, am I concerned about the Islanders over the next 40 games losing second place? Not at this time. I'm not. I think Pittsburgh, with the issues that they're going to have, I think their rubber band is going to slowly come back and contract, and you're going to find a happy medium. Now, what does it also mean at the 40-game mark with the point pace, with the prorated? Okay. Prime example, this is what happened last year. Around this time, Tampa Bay finished up, I'm sorry, Tampa Bay had at the 40-game mark last year, Tampa Bay was on pace for 129 points. Okay. Tampa Bay finished with 128. The Leafs were on pace for 109, and they finished up with 100. The Capitals were at 108-point pace, and the Caps ended up finishing with 104. The Isles were on a 103-point pace last year. They finished with 103. The Columbus Blue Jackets were on pace for 102. They finished with 98. The Boston Bruins they were on pace for 102, and they finished with 107. Pittsburgh Penguins, here we go again. Pittsburgh Penguins they were on pace for 102, and they finished with 100. The only team here that really bombed were the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo Sabres, halfway mark of last year, they were on pace for 98 points, and they ended up finishing up with 76. Okay, so what does it mean right now in the standings? If the Islanders are on pace for 111 points at the halfway mark, guys, I can't see them dropping below 105. Maybe. I mean, I had the Islanders finishing between 100 and 105. If there are a ton of injuries to this team, okay, I could see it happening. But I don't. Right now, there's nothing here that's telling me that the Islanders are going to completely bomb. Okay? It's just the way it is right now. So, it should be the Islanders getting second place. Now, let's get into the scoring here. Very simple. You guys are actually going to be very surprised here. Believe it or not, if you play the averages right now, the Islanders are on pace for 235 goals. If you play the percentages, the Islanders are on pace for 250. Now, at the 40-game mark, you can basically put them together. Find the average of both. So you're looking at 240 goals. Okay. Your goal scorers. Bailey's on pace for 17. That's normal. Barzal's on pace for 34. Leave him alone. Billier's on pace for 21. That's normal. Broussard's on pace for 17. Leave him alone. Pieces Ezekias is back up to 18. Jordan Eberle, okay, you got me there. Jordan Eberle is on pace for 7 goals. 7. Jordan Eberle, you want to know where your lack of scoring is coming from, Islander fans? He's one of them. Leo Komarov doesn't have a goal. Okay, you can pick on him too. Not to call out the captain, Anders Lee is only on pace for 23 goals. Okay. You kind of expect him to be a little bit closer to 30. But as we all know, Anders Lee likes to score in bunches. So I'm going to hope that he gets onto a nice little hot streak soon, and that's going to raise up his numbers. Brock Nelson's on pace for 32. Leave him alone. Okay, so everyone's wondering why aren't the Islanders winning as often? Well, it just so happens that they've done this before. They did it last year. After going 16-3-1 this season, through their first 20 games, the Islanders right now have gone 9-8-2. It's basically a 500 record heading into Toronto this year, tonight. Okay, lo and behold, they did a similar stretch last year from games 11 through 30 where they went 9-8-3. 9-8-3. So, the Islanders coming back down in their standings a little bit from their point pace is normal. Going through a 20, maybe even 25-game stretch where they just play NHL 500 is normal. It's normal. It's normal. Sorry, guys. This is part of Trotz's system. You're expecting this team basically to go for the President's Trophy, and this is not a team that's designed to do that just yet. There is talent on this team, but when you guys are looking for a scorer, you're asking for the wrong piece. Again, what the Islanders need, and I said this on the last show, the Islanders need a third line. They need a third line. They need to find themselves a centerman who will blend two other players together, form a third line, and then Barry Trotz can run four lines and his defense, and you're going to see everyone improve. Because then there's going to be less pressure on Brock. There's going to be less pressure on Barzal. There's going to be less pressure on Zizekas. And I think you're going to see the offensive numbers that way. Now, here's something that's a little bothersome. Let's lose my voice there. Okay? Power play is ranked 17th right now. Despite playing 500 hockey basically for the last 20-25 games, the Islanders power play is 17th. That's right, dab smack in the middle. That's fine. The penalty killing is 12th. Nothing wrong with that. They're all there. Okay. The goaltending, however, this is a little shaky. Okay. Varlamov at this point is on pace for 2.41 goals against, and Thomas Greiss is now on pace for just under 2.6. Folks, both those numbers are just a tad high. They're a tad high. Right now, the team is still on pace for 214 goals against for the year, and that's including 4 empty net goals. That's the problem right here. It's the overall team defense. You want to know why you're not getting any offense? It's because the team defense has not been great. Now, for those of you who have been following me all season, you will know that the Islanders, through most of the season, were on pace for anywhere between 187 to about 194 goals against for the entire time. So it's the fact that they're now up almost 20 goals. That tells me that it's the overall team defense. It's the goaltending a little bit. The same percentages are still really good for both players. So I don't think it's the goalies per se. Granted, Greiss has had a couple of stinkers. Not even going to lie to you there. But it's the overall team defense that needs to improve, and when that happens, you're going to see the offense improve as well. So, team defense is a big thing, and I think if the goaltenders get hot once again, I don't think you're going to see the Islanders in any tough situation at this point. I like what Varlamov has been doing, and I think if Varlamov does get more games, he's only going to get better, and I think by probably after tonight's game or the Colorado game, once we get into like games 42, 43, 44, whatnot, and Varlamov is playing, I think you're going to see more winning from there on out. I do. So the Islanders are still on pace for 240 goals. The Islanders are still on pace to give up less than 217 goals. Those are your benchmarks. If the Islanders hit both, guess what? They're in the playoffs. That's it. Now, to be quite truthful, and this is now going to be part of water cooler talk, and this is something, might be a little bit of a venting session for me, but I will take your questions as well. Oh, Mike just kicked in? Oh, I have no idea then. Sorry, guys. I'll have this fixed by next show. If you guys are listening to anyone, and I don't care who it is, if you're listening to anyone or reading about the playoffs, the Islanders are going to be out of the first round of the playoffs. The Islanders are not going to make it deep into the playoffs. If you're listening, or if you're watching, or if you're reading anything like that, you're getting completely misinformed. That's crap. If the playoffs were to end today, who do I want to play in the first round of the playoffs? Pittsburgh. I want Pittsburgh. Okay? But we don't know what's going to happen in 40 games from now. We don't. no idea what's going to happen in 40 games from now. There's another season. We still have trade deadline, which, by the way, trade season basically started January 2nd. So I would expect a few more smaller trades during the month. And we'll see what happens at trade deadline. But, guys, do not read anything. Don't listen to anybody. If they're talking about the Islanders are going to be out of the playoffs in the first round or second round, don't do that. Don't even put yourselves through that, because that's crap. That's absolute crap. That's clickbait. And it's the wrong information. There is nothing here that the Islanders have shown me that they are absolutely ready to bomb. There hasn't been. Okay? This team literally went 16-3-1 at the beginning of the season for their first 20 games, and everyone's crying over a 3-game losing streak or a 5-game winless streak. Folks, let me tell you something. The Islanders could have lost 6 games in a row. They could have gone 6 games in a row with the loss. And they still would be okay compared to everybody else. The Metropolitan Division, it's like I said before with the rubber band. Guys, the Islanders on their point pace, they have never, only the Pittsburgh Penguins have been over 105 this year, guys. They're not at the Islanders level. They're not at the Washington Capitals level. They're not. They're not there. When it comes down to the Metro Division, it's the Capitals and it's the Islanders for right now. Do I see Pittsburgh holding on to a 109-point pace? Absolutely not. And if they do, their head coach deserves the Jack Adams Award. Absolutely. Do I trust the Philadelphia Flyers? No, not really. But the Flyers now are under that 100-point pace. So I have to see where they're headed. They're obviously heading down. Carolina Hurricanes, once again, they're not. They're just there. And that's what bothers me. I can't see them. I can't see the rest of the Metro catching up to the Isles or the Capitals. Again, it's trade season. Things could happen. Things will happen. But for people to start complaining that we're going to lose everything, it's just wrong. The Islanders could have gone on a 6-game losing streak instead of the 3, and the Islanders still would have been okay. That's how good this team has been. So, all right, I'm done ranting. Let's get into, we got about 20 minutes for water cooler talk here. Let's do it. I didn't even read the New York Post article. Larry Brooks, if you want a good laugh, go ahead, you can read it. I don't bother with Larry Brooks. I don't. He owes Islander fans for getting into that Hall of Fame. Let me tell you, he owes Islander fans. You talk about manipulation, that man knows how to do it. Downplaying against. All right, let's talk about the downplaying against. The other teams. Okay, you guys are Islander fans. You guys know how it is to play against upper teams. You know these other teams. When we stunk, there were other teams that we got up and ready for, and we usually played better. We were the upset. We were the underdogs, and I think that's still part of the problem. Okay, these were other teams right now, and you know this. They're younger. They're a little faster. They're playing their kids from the minors. They're trying to see what they got. But what you have in these lower, I don't want to say lower teams. It's wrong. What you're seeing in these rebuild teams are people, not just players and coaches, but they're people who are literally trying to get their life set. Imagine being a rookie on the Kings, on the Devils, or anyone on their entry-level contract. You're on a contract here. You're trying to show the organization that you really want to be here. You want to play in the NHL. You want to show people that you belong. You want to get that contract for your family. Okay? These guys are going to work their butts off to help each other win no matter what, because they want to help out their own family. The coaches are the same way. The coaches want that interim part taken off. They want to be the head coach. They want to be here. They don't want to be here for half a year. There is absolutely more motivation from teams like the Kings, the Senators, the Wings, the Devils. They want to win to keep their lives. Forget their jobs. Their jobs are their lives. They want to keep what they have. There is absolutely more motivation for them to beat every team. At this point, it's not just playing for pride. It's playing for their lives. The Islanders are not in that situation. The Islanders are absolutely not in that situation anymore. What are the Islanders doing? They're getting ready for the playoffs. That's what they're prepping themselves for. And again, there are probably a couple of players right now that are going through a sophomore slump. Or at least that's what it's looking like. If you're looking for the President's Trophy, if you're an Islander fan right now looking for the President's Trophy, you guys are absolutely wretched when it comes to expectations and predictions. You're horrible at it. And the reason why I say that is because during that nice little streak that the Islanders had, who was the team that never left? It was the Washington Capitals. Folks, if you did not have the Washington Capitals in first place in your division at the beginning of the season, you shouldn't be talking. Because you don't know the Metro Division. You don't. The Capitals were still the team to beat. The Islanders were not going to get them. Now, the only way the Islanders get first place in this division is if the Washington Capitals absolutely collapse. If that rubber band snaps. And how does it snap? Injuries. And no depth. That's it. So, when it comes to the younger players on other teams, there is more drive for them to beat every team, and the Islanders just happen to be victims because the Islanders have other plans in mind. Good question, though, about the younger teams beating up on the Islanders. I appreciate that. About the trade deadline on the 24th, how active do I see the Islanders? Look, I don't think this is going to be I think we're going to see a lot of small moving parts for this trade deadline. I think it already got started. You're going to see this month a lot of teams clearing up cap space, and the Islanders already have enough to make a couple of moves. I think the Islanders will probably make one or two small moves. Some of it may affect Bridgeport because there's a ton of injuries there. So I think over the next 3 or 4 weeks, if Bridgeport gets back into it, I could see the Islanders making a trade. Probably for the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, but at the same time, possibly relieving some cap space as well. As far as the Islanders themselves, I think the Islanders are going to look for a centerman. I don't think they're going to go for a winger because, again, I think we need that third line. The Islanders need that third line. And with Barry Trotz running 4 full lines, and what I mean by full, I mean the chemistry is all there. For all 4 lines, I think that would be better. And with the defense that we have, I don't know if we're going to get a defenseman. We'll see how far along Thomas Hickey is. I know he's still injured, to my knowledge. Maybe we get another veteran defenseman. Just for depth's sake. I don't know yet. I'm not looking for a major move right now. I'm not. I'm looking for something very subtle that will probably help out the team as a whole. Not just in scoring, because if this third line center could help with scoring, that would be great, obviously. But again, running all four lines, Barry Trotz can wheel and deal. It's like, stop us. We dare you to beat us. You know what I mean? There'll be less pressure on the other teams, on the other lines. So as for who they are, I'm going to come up with a small list. I'll do that. I'll come up with a small list of players that maybe the Islanders might be interested in. Speaking about the playoffs, do you still believe playing at the Barclays depends on the Nets making it again this year? Again, that's just the entrepreneur in me. That's just the entrepreneur in me. There's nothing confirmed on that. And honestly, I don't want to piss off any Brooklyn Islander fans. However, I have talked to a couple of season ticket holders who have been Nets season ticket holders who have been there for years. And they kind of agree with me. If the Nets make the playoffs, I can't see the Islanders being there. I just can't. Well, obviously in the first round, I would imagine that the Islanders are going to be at the Coliseum anyway. They can pull away with that. But by some major miracle, if the Nets make it to the second round, I can't see the Islanders playing at Barclays. I can't. If the Nets are out, then it's going to be back to, okay, what is the NHL going to allow us to do? Excuse me. So we'll go from there. I can probably say this with confidence. I don't think the Nets want the Islanders there at all. I don't think Barclays wants us there at all. But we'll see what happens. Recall Ladd, also scoring regularly, put on a third line. That's a possibility. Bringing up Andrew Ladd, as long as his knee is healthy, that could be like a free agent pickup. It's like a trade pickup. Who knows? But you need a good centerman to work out with Ladd. You need a little bit more on the veteran side for that 3C. So who knows? 2019 was the first time in modern NHL history that a team didn't make one trade in a calendar year. The Islanders? Yeah, but they didn't have to. They didn't have to. We can flip this around, okay? Lou Lamoriello traded for Leo Komarov. No, he didn't trade for Leo. He traded for Matt Martin. And the team went on to 103 points, and now they're on pace for over 111. You guys have been complaining for years and years and years and years that we had a crappy coach. The coaching staff stinks. We got to get a brand new coaching staff. We got to get A-plus coaching staff. You got one now. The drafting wasn't the problem. It was the development, which I have been preaching now for God knows how long. You guys know this. So now when we finally get to coaching staff in here, they're improving. Look, let's go back again. Tell me when Bill Torrey really made any major moves. Go ahead, I'll wait. When did Bill Torrey actually make a move to make a run at the Stanley Cup? Okay. It was that 79-80 season. Why? Because the Islanders were actually dropping out. They won the President's Trophy. They won the conference finals or whatever it was, 78, 79. They kept losing in the playoffs. Bill Torrey didn't make that trade for Butch Goring until the Islanders looked like they were actually slipping and they were missing the playoffs. And then it wasn't until Butch Goring trade happened that they ended up winning, I believe, 9 in a row? Heading into the playoffs, Bill Torrey kept all of his players. It's the same thing that Lou Lamoriello was doing. I have a feeling a lot of you guys would really hate Bill Torrey this time around because he's not making any immediate moves. There's no need to, guys. At game 40, the Islanders do not need to make an immediate move. They didn't have to make a move last year. Carolina Hurricanes, tap your sticks to them. That was one hell of a run. But I warned you about them last year. This is a buyer's market for the Islanders. And what do I mean by a buyer's market? The Islanders are a top 5 team in the NHL. They're not going to cave to fans. They're not going to get lowballed by other teams. They're going to work with what they have. I mean, Anthony Beauvillier right now is having a renaissance season. He's on pace for 21 goals. Devon Toews over a full season, I think, is going to have a great rebounding year. He'll rebound. You wanted your top left wing here. Okay, great. There's Beauvillier at 21. You got Anders Lee at 23. You've got Beauvillier at 21. That's fine. You need a third line. The fact that the Islanders have not made a trade, it's actually normal, and it's consistent with what they did in the 70s. They didn't make a lot of trades. Bringing up on Aho, I like that idea. Aho has been, I'll tell you what, guys, and a few of you can actually confirm this for me later on. I can say with confidence that Sebastian Aho really is one of those players that other teams have been interested when it comes to trading and packaging and whatnot. His name has popped up before. There is interest in him from other NHL teams. So I think Aho is ready. I don't think he'll be out of place. He's a little spitfire Thomas Hickey. Thomas Hickey used to throw those body checks around. Aho does it a little more often if he's allowed to. He's got a nice little shot, which you could put on a second power play, but he's not going to be out of position. And if he's been learning anything from Thomas Hickey this year, that's even better. I know that you guys are harping on Islanders not playing well against these bad teams. It's back and forth. You can say, yeah, the Islanders aren't playing great, but the other team could just be playing better. They have more to win. There's more at stake. You're looking for consistency. Okay. You're looking for consistency. You're 9-8-2. You're consistently at a 500 record after going 16-3-1. This is normal. They did it last year. Crap, they did it for 30 games last year. They won, 10, 14, 12, 14, 12, and 4 last year. It's normal. Through 30 games, they went 14, 12, and 4. And now they're just doing 9-8-2 right now. Guys, it's normal. They did a lot of that winning in the beginning. That's all it is. Islanders overtake Caps when we get to Belmont. I'm not even worried about Belmont just yet. But yes, that's fairly true. I don't think this Capitals team is going for a Stanley Cup this year. I think this will be their last one. This will be their last run. John Carlson, as far as I'm concerned, should get the Norris Trophy. Can I see a trade for Pageau on the third line? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have not heard anything about Pageau coming to the Isles. I can say with confidence that the Islanders and Ottawa Senators have talked, I believe, fairly recently. But the vibe I'm getting is that Pageau really does like Ottawa, and nothing would shock me if he was re-signed by Ottawa. Now, the Senators could trade him, and he could re-sign with Ottawa during the summertime, maybe. But I don't know if Pageau would actually do that. I could see Pageau just re-signing with the Senators. So I'm not sure on Pageau. I don't know who the Islanders would be targeting. It would be nice, but I can't tell you with anything who the Islanders are going after for Pageau. I've just heard more often than not that Pageau would rather re-sign with Ottawa. So I don't know where that would go. Yeah, that's all great, but I know you guys have been bringing up Duclair and Toffoli, but where are you going to put them? I mean, depending on the trade package, okay, great. You could put them on the third line, but You still you can't trade for Duclair or Toffoli, or you can't bring up Kieffer Bellows until you find yourself a third line center who can bring a third line together. None of those left wingers are going to do you any good until you find a 3C. So if Islander fans are that concerned about the trade deadline, I would look at a 3C first instead of a left wing. Unless they move Beauvillier to center, who knows? Sky's always falling here. It's been falling for years. 6 points from missing the playoffs. Have you not seen what I just did for like the last hour? They have been winning. They have been winning. They're just not losing as much. They're just not losing as much as everyone else, guys. This is normal. It's normal. Every team goes through this stretch, and then you're like the Detroit Red Wings, where you're consistently losing. It happens. The Islanders have already shown from last year, you can go 30 games and basically play at the NHL 500 level, and then go on a nice little streak, and guess what? You're good. It's normal. Everything here has been normal. No, yeah, granted, Torrey did make a few minor trades, but they weren't major. Granted, yes, he did make trades, but nothing major. Gord Lane, Wayne Merrick, absolutely. But Tommy, those are the trades that I'm looking for this year. Gord Lane, Wayne Merrick, those guys brought other players together. That's the trade I'm looking for right now. That's what this 3C could do. Exactly. Complementary pieces. Is Barry going to put Brassard back at wing? Clearly, he's much better. Again, I'm going to go with that, Mark. Give me a 3C. Give me a 3C. Give me a 3C. Give me a 3C that's going to work with Ladd and Brassard. I'm okay with that. Absolutely, I'm okay with that. That's up to up to Barry, but I don't mind that. Very jealous of Torrey's legacy, improved it by no moving a silent last season home opener. David, I can tell you right now, I've had that conversation with Torrey, with Lou. Lou absolutely looks up to Torrey. Torrey was was a mentor to Lou. Everything you see has like Torrey's fingerprints all over the place. Lou has absolute, genuine respect for Torrey. They were friends for the love of the hockey gods here. They were friends for that long. I don't think there's any jealousy whatsoever. He's just emulating what Torrey did during the 70s and 80s. Aho puts in some strength. I agree with that, but you know what? I would like to see more of the speed than anything else from Aho. I just want him to stay in position, to be honest with you. You know what? They did try to let Brassard center the third line of Ladd. Well, they tried to put him at center. It didn't work. Which is, I'm wondering if the Islanders are going to re-sign Brassard. Because he was originally supposed to be signed as a 3C, and it didn't work out. Tommy, stop stealing my thunder here. Yeah, that's the other thing, guys. If we can get a 3C, in all honesty, if we can get a 3C who's like 55% faceoffs, that would be phenomenal. That just might produce more goals, and it'll give us more puck possession as well. That's all part of the system. An article from Elliot. Okay, KHL team trying to re-sign him. Any chance he stays? Are we talking about Sorokin? No, I can tell you guys with confidence, and I've been saying this all season long, and I think I said it last summer too. He's coming to the island. He is coming to the island. Yes, he's coming. never pressured into anything. I can tell you right now, guys, if you guys are looking for Peugeot, that's great. That's okay. The Ottawa Senators may, in fact, be looking for a first rounder in Peugeot. I don't know if the Islanders are willing to give up the first rounder this year. This year, I don't think so. And if Peugeot is going to be a pure rental, I don't think you're going to want to give up your first rounder anyway. I don't think so. All right, look, a slump is not playing NHL 500. They're still catching up to you. They're not catching up. It's just not going to happen. God forbid. Yeah, look, I'm looking at the Islanders' first 30 games. They went 7-3, and then they went 9-0-1, and then they went 5-4-1. Right now, in their last 11 games, you got Toronto coming out in Colorado. They're 4-4-1. God forbid other teams go on a happy little streak, keep the rest of your season tickets holder, and make something of it. I keep telling you guys, do not look at the NHL standings at the 40-game mark. They're not the same as the point pace or the percentages. They're not. It's not. Never happened. The only time the NHL standings and the percentages come together is around game 60 to 65. That's when you can start shitting a brick. If everything is that close, okay, then you can start shitting a brick. However, go back to this. You know what? I do have the standings from last year. Let's see here. Hold on. For those, sky is falling. Everything is close. Okay. Washington Capitals with 104 points. The New York Islanders with 103 points. The Pittsburgh Penguins with 100 points. The Carolina Hurricanes with 99. The Columbus Blue Jackets with 98. It's normal to be this close. It's normal. The teams are good. What do you want me to tell you? It's normal. Look at the Atlantic, other than Tampa Bay. Boston with 107. Toronto with 100. Montreal with 96. They were all close together. It's normal. If you're not worried about it, start drinking somewhere. Loosen up. Yeah, we still, it's one half dozen of another, Stro. I absolutely agree. 3C to mold in the third line. We absolutely need a third line. But in order to do that, the Islanders will probably have to trade for 3C. Absolutely. But unless they, but again, this is why what I'm trying to say for a third line is different from what you're trying to say. The Islanders signed Derek Brassard. He's a 3C. He didn't pan out because he couldn't bring a line together. That's what I'm trying to emphasize here. We need to find a player who can bring two other guys together to form a chemistry and run for as long as they can against the other teams to reduce the stress from the other lines. That's where I'm going. Signing any other 3C doesn't work. The 3C has to fit the system. That's where I'm going with that. I don't want any name. He's got to fit the system. Why does Brent Thompson still have a job? Oh, shit. Let's go down the line here. Ross Johnson. Scott Mayfield. Adam Pelech. Ryan Pulock. Devon Toews. Okay, all those guys, they were all there during Brent Thompson's tenure. He didn't have the offense to do it. Okay, there's not one single player that I know, or at least I have heard of, that have had any negative things to say about Brent Thompson. Okay, and as far as Bridgeport goes, they've been, I almost want to say it's been a plague this year. It's been a plague. Nothing. They haven't been able to have any healthy players whatsoever. 2 or 3 of their top defensemen have been out all season long. And the scoring has been flip-flopping because Koivu has been up, Wallstrom's been up here, Andrew Ladd just getting it all together. It's been a complete giant mess. If if Pageau wanted to resign here, maybe. I don't know if the Islanders are really going to go that route, guys. I think the Islanders are going to try to go with someone with term, inexpensive term right now for that 3 seed. I truly believe that. I correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't think Lou really likes going for rentals. Never really has. He'll probably get someone with contract or a term, like a 1 or 2 year deal left on his contract. That's fairly inexpensive. That's just me. Would I mind Pageau? No, not at all. If you're worried about the play, you're worried about their defensive play. Their defensive play has been horrible. I already stated that. Their defensive play over the last several games have not been good. Just hasn't. Hutchinson's in goal tonight? Oh. I'm not worried about the slump. See, that's why I put slump in quotes. It's not a slump. It's not. They're a 500 hockey team for like the last 20 games. I'm all right with that. They haven't lost anything. You don't like the forward talent, there's not enough. I agree with that. That comment is perfect. That's fine. And that goes back to a third line. That's perfect. Brian, perfect. Stahl for the 3 seed. Stahl has already said, if we're talking about Eric Stahl has already turned down a couple of trades. He's already said no. The vibe I'm getting out of Minnesota is that he has every intention to stay. And Minnesota's actually doing pretty good right now. They're heading right into the playoffs, or at least they're in the thick of things. So Eric Stahl's not going anywhere. Good choice, but no. You want JP and Jude? Yeah. It's not. Yeah. Forget about Minnesota, guys. Minnesota somehow is resurrecting themselves out of the depths of the basement, and they're actually making a shot. How bad is that Komarov contract? 2 more years at $3 million per, or a buyout-proof contract with a $17 million trade? Contract's not over yet. That's my only saving grace I got against you. The contract's not over. I mean, if Leo Komarov scores a game-winning goal that gets us into the Stanley Cup, I don't know. It's right now. It's not the greatest, but he did fit the system, or he does fit the system. But what did you guys think of David Volek? No one liked that contract. No one liked that player until he hit the game winner in '93. I mean, what do you want me to tell you guys? Yes. Leo Komarov could be this year's Dave Volek. Who knows, guys? That's just the way it goes. So, listen, great conversation here. We'll do this again soon. If there's any topics you want me to cover, leave it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to cover anything you guys want me to go over. Couple of things coming up. I'm going to have a few articles coming out fairly soon about the calendar year, ironically, 2019 with the Islanders record. I'm going to cover the point pace again at the 40 game mark, and we're going to have a couple more shows coming up. A couple of things coming up in February as well. We're going to let you guys in on that a little bit as I get more info. But I'd love to do another show sometime next week. Hopefully another 3-game winning streak will shut some of you up. So, leave your comments, concerns, ideas, even your trade proposals. Leave them in the comment section. That's fine. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at P_Kreischer. Don't forget to follow Isles Talk on Twitter at Isles Talk. Don't forget to like Isles Talk on Facebook, and we're also on Periscope, so look for us there as well. And thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Year four. Beautiful. sometime next week. And let's go Islanders.